Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. I'm Mandira Lalwani. We're here at the RWITC and it is the day of the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion, so plenty on tap for you. But first up, the headlines.
First up, we take a look at the history of the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion, a race second only to the Indian Derby.
And this race came into being in the 90s. It's done its silver jubilee now.
After that, a look at all the fashion and glamour from the race day that has one of India's most fashionable families at the helm of things.
Well, I got my inspiration from her and my grandmother both. I saw them dress up for the races since we were little.
And following that, we take a look at the stud farm that has been behind the success of many champions, as well as a look at all the racing action from the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion. And finally, we look ahead at what to expect from the Turf Invitation Cup this weekend over in Hyderabad.
Stairs Cup, I have Okavango running, and Okavango won the Baikala Cup over here, the longest race, 2,800 meters, which he won well, beating quite a good staying horses.
The Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion is a Group 1 race. It's in its 25th year running, and each year it's only grown in stature and prize money. Let's take a walk down memory lane.
Racing in India has a long and illustrious history, starting from the days of the British Raj. The Indian classics have borne testimony of the quality of thoroughbreds right from pre-independence days.
Leaving spellbound and royal challenge behind, bright Hanover driven flat out, streaks to the front to claim the prestige event.
In March 1990, exactly 25 years to this date, an innovative and glittering racing spectacle was conceptualized by the Poonawalla brothers, Dr. Cyrus and Mr. Zavare Poonawalla. Back then, the stakes money was a princely sum of 1 million rupees. The success of the first edition set the stage for the future of this prestigious race that has grown in stature and come to be known as the Juvenile Derby.
The race has come into existence two-thirds of the way after the family started in racing. Our stud farm started in 43 by my dad when I was in the year I was born. And this race came into being in the 90s. It's done its silver jubilee now. It started with a concept which Cyrus and myself, along with the breeders, decided that let's have something good for breeding and racing, as it was sort of dipping down. And we thought of the concept following the Cartier Million in Ireland and the Magic Million in Australia. And we guaranteed a million with the backup of the breeders, and it worked like magic.
It was the first million race in the country. It was the first race to give away a car completely free of cost with a free contest of skill. The first race to give prizes for best dressed ladies and gentlemen, etc. So in a large sense, it was like a trendsetter for a lot of the million races that are there today. And now a lot of other people are doing similar things. But it was a trendsetter, and maybe now we'll have to think of something different.
The race's graph over the past 24 years has seen a phenomenal and meteoric rise, and that comes as no surprise, considering that the family at the helm of things has a bond with the equine species that transcends barriers of time and space.
The Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion is of course sponsored by the Poonawalla family, a family that is synonymous with glamour and style and horse racing. It's no surprise then that the day itself oozed with glamour and class. All these gorgeous hats on the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion Day are thanks to one person, that of course is Delna Poonawalla, who's wearing a lovely one herself. Delna, how difficult is it to design hats, and tell me how you got so interested in it?
Well, I think the interest came from the time I was little, when I traveled everywhere and saw people wearing hats. And for the Melbourne Cup, I saw the most spectacular hats. I mean, Ascot was very proper and Melbourne was crazy. They had the Mad Tea Party on a hat. And I mean, we're a far cry from there, but I wanted to bring hats and fascinators and open India up, because I think the Indian woman can carry it off really well. We're just intimidated by it, so we have to get past that and I think they've become more and more popular, especially in the last 3 to 5 years. This is the launch of my Spring-Summer 2014. So what I tend to do is I do a sneak preview at the races. So hopefully that keeps it fresh.
Okay, so take us through the this season's style and colors, etc.
Well, I'm doing Lakme Fashion Week this year, and it's resort wear, so my inspiration came from that, and I love prints. I love Peter Pilotto and the other printed fabric, so I worked on the fabric to print it to make it edgy, and then I've done a series of colors which are in vogue, which are green, blue, lilac, coral, baby pink, and I've got models wearing them, so you can see the element of resort wear and the element of the printed fabric coming through. I have some designs which are obviously funky and fitted, but I love flow of clothes, and the flow of clothes should suit women of all ages and all styles, and you should be comfortable in them.
Judging by your mom, she's always so beautifully turned out. It's obvious that there has to be something in the genes as well. It can't just all be studying.
No, well, I got my inspiration from her and my grandmother both. I saw them dress up for the races since we were little, and we weren't allowed into the race course, and you had to wait outside at the stands, and I loved it, and I love seeing her dress up. So I have to give her credit and say the inspiration comes from her.
Now, this is something we are showcasing from the Spring-Summer collection of Delna Poonawalla, which goes on to feature in the Lakme Fashion Week as well. Let's start off with you, Alitra. How did you decide to put this ensemble together?
With a lot of help from Delna, of course. I really like the bright yellow color, and it's very light fabric, very easy to wear for, the afternoon. So I picked this one over the rest, and I quite like it. What do you think?
Delna, apart from styling women, is also a champ, we must say, at styling the men as well. So two very well-dressed men right here at the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion. Tell me what you're wearing.
Well, it's the spring-summer resort wear, so it's kind of easy. It's also really, really exclusive and luxurious. So she's kind of used really lovely earthy colors like green and yellow to kind of bring out the summer aspect of it. And then there are also like earthy colors which makes it look more organic, and So I think it's great, and it's a simple suit, but it's really the colors that bring it out, and I think it's great.
I really like this outfit. It's good for the weather, and I really like the color, with the small head.
All right, so the right blend of color, right bout of freshness is what we can see right here at the paddock at the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion 2014. And like every year, this year as well spells of a lot of glamour and excitement.
Time now for a quick break here on the winning post. When we return, we'll have a look at the 11 contenders in the fray for the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion 2014. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us here on the winning post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. Now, the Poonawalla Stud Farm is a few minutes outside of Pune, and it's bred many a champion, some of which started their career with this very race and went on to do the nation proud.
The stud farm that has sent out champion horses year after year. The farm that has achieved the Champion Breeders Award an incredible 12 times. The Poonawalla Stud Farms, the farm that has put the Indian thoroughbred on the international map. The Poonawalla Stud Farms have produced an incredible 339 classic winners to date. And this is not only a national record, but one across the globe as well. The optimum success that the Poonawalla Stud Farm achieved was when their bred horse Mystical won back-to-back races on international turf in the Dubai International Racing Carnival in 2007, making the entire country proud with his stupendous conquests.
Deep on the track, but it's Mystical going up to Diamond Quest, 250 metres out. Mystical for India takes the lead. Diamond Quest is battling back. Mystical in front. Diamond Quest is fighting. Mystical is responding. Ryan Moore's riding hard, and it's another history-making win for Mystical. Mystical first, Diamond Quest second, and they space the others.
Mystical not only earned high acclaim in the international press, he also won the admiration of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum himself. 2012 was the year of In the Spotlight, the multi-classic winner. Bred at the Poonawalla Stud Farms, In the Spotlight was another classy filly, who conquered the regional derbies at Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and finally arrived in Mumbai to thump top-notch horses in the Indian Derby in 2012. In the Spotlight went on to win the Invitation Cup at Bangalore as well. In the Spotlight almost won on her international debut in Dubai, leading all the way in the home stretch before she went down fighting in a close finish.
Azima running on in the Spotlight, has to dig. This is her test. Anatolian's going to her. Azima splashing at the end. Anatolian in front. Azima lunged, missed. Anatolian from Azima in the Spotlight might be third in a photo from Star Empire.
The Poonawalla Stud Farm, home of legendary champion Thoroughbreds.
The Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion is a Group 1 race for 3-year-old horses. It's also called the Juvenile Derby. The 2014 edition has 11 contenders in the fray. Let's head over to the parade ring and have a closer look at them.
The Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion is a Grade 1 race open to thoroughbreds 3 years old only and is run over a trip of 1400 meters. This year's renewal saw 11 runners come into the parade ring. However, the most favoured of the 11 were Be Safe from Malesh Naredu's yard with B. Shrikant on his back, who was coming into the contest with an unbeaten record of 3 wins from as many starts. The 3-year-old had romped home in his previous start, the Group 3 the Kunigal Breeders Produce Stakes, and enjoyed the lion's share of market support on account of that. The Kuji Kajrak trained Shivalik Storm, who had claimed the Group 3 the Gul as Poonawalla Million over 1200 meters and was looking to continue his winning form with A. Sandesh holding his reins. War Command, saddled by Kartik Ganpati, who had run 4th to Be Safe in the Zoroastrian Multimillion over 1200 meters and was looking to improve on that performance with C.S. Jodha on board. Be Safe stablemate Quasar, who had run 3rd in the B.K. Ratansi Memorial Multimillion on Indian Derby Day and was looking to shed his maiden status here with Suraj Naredu on his back. With the instructions in place and the jockeys on board, the horses were led to the starting gates.
Well, the horses have left the paddock. They're on their way to the starting gate, so the perfect time for us to slip into a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we return, it'll be with the race. Thank you for staying with us. It's time now for the big race, the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion 2014. All the 11 horses have been loaded. It's time to go over to the commentator for the call.
All the 11 locked up and ready. Set to go. They're off and racing for the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion Grade 1 to a fairly even break at the gates by all the runners. And as they settle down to race, War Command hits the front from Corsair, quickly moving into second position. Solomon is right behind them. A length for the back is Hunting Pleasure on the inside rails. Shivalik Storm on the outside. Then comes Speed King. On the outside of Speed King, there's Nesto. Romeo making a slide forward move. Then comes Tatiana in the middle on the outside. Aragon and close glass as they pass the 1000-meter marker is Be Safe. They are approaching the 800 with War Command clear by about a length in front of Corsair in second position. Another 2 lengths for the back, there's Solomon. Then there is Shivalik Storm on the outside. Hunting Pleasure along the inside rails. Then comes Romeo. On the inside there is Speed King. Nesto on the outside. Very close behind them is Tatiana. Aragon going slightly wide. And Be Safe is still lying last as they pass the 600-meter marker and straighten up for home. Into the straight, War Command comes in home first from Corsair, chasing a length and a half, 2 further back there's Solomon. Then there is Shivalik Storm who's come under the stick. Towards the inside there is Speed King. Nesto making progress on the outside, and Be Safe, the widest one of all, with about 300 meters more to run. War Command about a length and a half in front of Shivalik Storm, gathering momentum on the inside. Then comes Be Safe, also making his presence felt. After that there is Solomon, Nesto and Corsair on the inside, but with about 100 to go, it's Shivalik Storm being strongly challenged on the outside by Be Safe. Shivalik Storm and Be Safe. Shivalik Storm just about holds on from Be Safe. Then there is War Command on the wide outside. Corsair is forced as the race passes the finish.
B-Safe's unbeaten run came to an end at the hands of Shivalik Storm as he crossed the winning post with just a neck separating the two.
क्योंकि मैं आगे था 20 से मेरे को पता नहीं चल रहा था वो आ रहा क्या लास्ट 50 मीटर्स खाली मेरे को ऐसा लगा 20 से आएगा आणि रेस के अंदर दो ही घोड़े की रेस थी 20 से और शिवालिक स्टॉर्म तो मेरे को ज़्यादा डर नहीं था मैं बोला ये पीछे से आएगा 20 से जब तक मैं पहुँच जाऊँगा जिस दिन मैं थर्ड भागा था 20 से के पीछे उस दिन मेरे घोड़ा आगे हो गया और लो हॉप कर दिया इसकी वजह से मेरे को आके उसने पास करके मैं जस्ट 1 लाइन में हारा तो ये रेस था तो हम टैक्टिक थोड़ा सा चेंज किया पीछे थोड़ा बैठने का देखा 4th 5th पोजीशन आणि सक्सेसफुल हो
The presentation ceremony had the right amount of glamour and tradition as the bevy of fashionable ladies along with the founding members of the race came together to give away the awards to the overjoyed winning connections.
आज काफ़ी वो हर रेस में इम्प्रूव दौड़ रहा था तो कहीं हमारे मन में थी कि आज जीतेगा घोड़ा ये अभी भी मुझे लगा कि अभी तक थोड़ा ग्रीन बीच में भाग रहा था घोड़ा पहले ही भागता हर रन में ये इम्प्रूव कर रहा है आज भी इसमें और अच्छा भागने की थोड़ी क्षमता बाकी थी
The presentation ceremony was followed by the announcement of the winner of the contest of skill, which had a Renault Duster up for grabs. It was heartwarming to see a gentleman from the public enclosure crack the winning connection and take home the brand new automobile, the first of his life that definitely added to his experience on this spectacular race day. With that, it was the end of another successful edition of the Poonawalla Breeders Multimillion and the last big race day before the Mumbai season goes on a hiatus this Sunday in honor of the Indian Turf Invitation Cup weekend to be held on the 1st and 2nd of March in Hyderabad this year. The Indian Turf Invitation Cup weekend has 4 Group 1 races on the cards, which include the Stayers Cup, the Sprinters Cup, the Super Mile Cup and of course the Indian Turf Invitation Cup. The Stayers Cup is the first of the 4 races and is run over a trip of 3,000 meters. This year's field will include 12 contenders, of which the most promising are Malaysia Redu's Charge Okavango, Sanjay Kolse's Ward Rodeo and Narendra Lagad's Native Night. The 3 had faced each other in the Suresh Mahindra Trophy over 3,200 meters in Pune, where Rodeo had got the better of the 2, with Native Night coming second and Okavango taking the third.
Rodeo is among my best staying horses in my stable and he's always shown it. As a baby, first race he won was 1800 and his present form is pretty good because he won in October 3200 beating Native Night, who is the Stayers Cup winner. Of course, I was 9 kilos less but still, and in the Baikala Club Cup also, the 2800 meter race recently, I ran ahead of Native Night. So I think he'll run a good race. He'll give a good account of himself.
Stayers Cup, I have Okavango running, and Okavango won the Baikala Cup over here, the longest race, 2,800 meters, which he won well, beating quite a good staying horse. He's a horse who's just come to a form, and I'm hoping for the best in the Stayers Cup.
The Sprinters Cup over 1,200 meters follows the Stayers, and this year's renewal will see 14 sprinters facing the starter. The Dr. S.C. Jain Sprinters Championship that serves as a precursor to the Sprinters Cup saw Marinsky get the better of rivals Dancing Phoenix, Ishpingo, Rosie Sunshine and Neffin, who is the defending champion. With her main challenger Amelia not in contention for this one, it looks like Marinsky would be the one to beat this time around.
Last time when they ran the Sprinters Cup in Bombay between Marinsky and Amelia, it looked as if Marinsky was a little unlucky. But if you really look at it, Amelia also loves to come from behind. And I think over a 6 furlong, Amelia will probably still get the better of Marinsky. Now, if they both run the super mile, which they both entered to run on the subsequent day, I think the tables will be turned between Marinsky and Amelia.
Dancing Princess is a very nice horse. I trained her mother, grandmother, and last time he ran very close second to Amelia, and I am giving a weight 5 kilo to Amelia, and he ran a second. After that, Amelia, she won again, and I am very happy I got a chance to invite it in the Sprinters Cup, and inshallah he has a very good chance, and he's working well. Let's see, he's reached today only, and I wanted to go tomorrow and see how his condition and all, and if he get a good draw, and I got a TS Jodha the last moment, and he has a very good chance.
He is in good form. I think I know why he ran a bit of a poor race last time, but I think we can remedy that. He's racing with horses half his age now, but we hope that he'll put up a good performance.
I think we all have to beat Marinsky, who I think last time she was unlucky, and the mile is the right trip, I think, so for her.
Amelia and Marinsky will face off in the Super Mile, which will see 12 thoroughbreds in the parade ring. Marinsky holds a slight edge over Amelia in this one, and was Amelia being run in the Sprinters Cup, she would definitely have had the chance to turn the tables on Marinsky in that race.
Well, we initially thought of running her in the Sprinters Cup, having regard to what she did in the last 2 races, as you mentioned. But upon some reflection, we have decided to race her in the Super Mile because we believe that that's her pet distance, having won the Bangalore Guineas, the Hyderabad Guineas, and even in the 1000 Guineas, if you recollect, she was building up a superb momentum when the jockey fell and she tumbled. So we believe that we have a good chance in the Super Mile, and Amita Mehra, who's her breeder as well as a co-owner, also feels likewise. So with some hesitation, we have decided to run her only in the Super Mile and not in the Sprinters. Marinsky would be running in both the races, so therefore she would be a little bit tired after the first day, so that would give an advantage to Amelia. And we do believe that in a fairly even race, even in the 1000 Guineas, the results could have been very different had Amelia got a free run. So I think we do fancy her chances quite a bit in the Super Mile.
The Turf Invitation Cup this year will see 16 runners line up at the gates, including the likes of Allende, Jeremiah, New Roy, Circle of Bliss, Starry Eyes and Isn't She Special, all of whom had faced each other last in the Indian Derby, with Allende reigning supreme. An outsider whose connections seemed confident of his abilities is Ocean and Beyond.
I think that the Invitation Cup, we must remember that Ocean and Beyond loves the distance, and he, I think, would be the danger to all the 3-year-olds.
Well, I just hope she doesn't have a bridesmaid, but I feel she's in very good form. She's really looking well. She's taken her racing surprisingly well so far, and I think she'll run with a big chance. I don't think you need to give Richard Hughes too much advice, being the best jockey in England at least. I think he'll ride her well. I think he's been a bit unlucky. He's misjudged the Oaks. I think in the Derby it was not his fault. He was decidedly unlucky because that other horse came and bumped him at the bend. But I feel that she'll probably be right there, make amends this time.
Circle of Life, I think, was a little unlucky in the Derby because she got an interference from Ramu's horse, the pacemaker, who came out onto her. Otherwise, she might have been closer. I think that long straight will suit her. And if Hughes is not that far behind, he should be able to turn the tables.
Well, that's all we have time for on this edition of The Winning Post. But remember, if you've missed anything, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Also, remember to like our Facebook page and follow Mohit Alwani on Twitter for updates and all the action.
Thank you.